In recent years, the pace of high-speed railway construction in China has ceased to surprise many people, but continues to impress with its scale. The last section of one of the longest high-speed rail routes in the world was recently completed in China. Now the distance of 2,360 kilometers from Beijing to Hong Kong can be covered in 8 hours and 56 minutes. In total, last year, China invested 802.8 billion yuan, or $117 billion in the development of railways, increasing their length by 4,600 kilometers. As of the end of 2022, the country's high-speed rail network reached 42,000 kilometers. This fact becomes even more astonishing considering that just 10 years ago, the Chinese high-speed rail network consisted of only 2 lines, the Shanghai Maglev Aero Express to the airport and the 100 kilometers Beijing-Tianjin section. By 2025, the total length of high-speed lines is expected to reach 60,000 kilometers. The Chinese network is not just the largest in the world, it is larger than all the others combined. The French network, the second largest in the world, spans 3,220 kilometers, while Japan's network is 2,700 kilometers long. 20 years ago, China couldn't boast of a well-developed passenger railway system. In 1993, the average train speed in the country was less than 50 kilometers per hour. Along with economic growth, there was an increasing demand for passenger transportation. In 1997, the government started a program to increase the average speed of trains. By 2006, it became clear that the existing tracks couldn't provide the necessary capacity and speed for the growing passenger traffic. The government redirected most of the funds from upgrading existing tracks to planning and building dedicated high-speed lines. Initially, the development stalled due to uncertainty about what the new network would look like. There was a discussion about 2 models of development. They used conventional high-speed tracks and implementing maglev train technology. China already had positive experience with the latter, as the Shanghai Maglev line remains the fastest in the world, reaching speeds of up to 431 kilometers per hour. However, the cost of construction using this technology was too high, which limited the development of the network, so the choice was made in favor of the first option. In 2007, the first dedicated high-speed railway line opened in northern China, the Qinshan Railway, with trains reaching a maximum speed of 250 kilometers per hour. By 2008, a true high-speed branch appeared between Beijing and Tianjin, just in time for the Summer Olympic Games. It was the first major line designed for speeds of 350 kilometers per hour. A year later, the first intercity high-speed railway spanning nearly 1,000 kilometers between Wuhan and Guangzhou was established. A network plan called 4+4 was developed, consisting of 4 north-south corridors and 4 west-east corridors. This network was completed by 2015 and now serves as the backbone of China's high-speed rail system. In 2016, an expansion plan to 8+8 was developed. Currently, the network extends to 29 out of 33 provinces, making the task of improving transportation connectivity between regions partially completed. One of the factors contributing to the active construction of the network is the lower cost compared to other countries. The construction cost of 1 kilometer of railway does not exceed $23 million, while in Europe the price tag starts from $25 million and can reach up to $40 million. The construction of high-speed railways in China is placed on an industrial track, which significantly saves on procurement and construction. In Western countries, a large part of the project costs is due to land acquisition. In China, 85% of the tracks are laid on viaducts, which greatly reduces the cost of landscaping. Moreover, the cost of land and labor is also cheaper compared to other countries with developed high-speed rail systems. With the growing demand for long-distance transportation, it became clear that air transport was not able to provide sufficient capacity within the country. Most of China's airspace is controlled by the military, and only narrow corridors are used for commercial flights. The capacity of these corridors is the main constraint for the growth of this mode of transport. It also has a negative impact on the punctuality of Chinese airlines. Aircraft of the largest Chinese companies arrive on time on average only 65% of the time. It took 4 years for the high-speed rail network to overcome its main competitor, air transport. Already in 2011, the passenger traffic of high-speed lines reached 440 million passengers and exceeded the air traffic. In 2017, the number of passengers on high-speed rail lines exceeded 1.7 billion per year. This is more than half of the total passenger traffic of railroads, although in 2015, it didn't even reach a quarter. One of the factors in the choice of passengers in favor of the railway is the price. It is often lower than the airfare and significantly lower than in other countries. The average ticket price per kilometer in China is 7 cents, while in France it's 10 cents, and in Spain it's 11 cents. High-speed railways also play a significant role in improving population mobility. Today, a resident of China can buy a train ticket in Shenzhen for $7 and be in Guangzhou, 120 kilometers from the place of departure, in just 30 minutes. This allows millions of Chinese people to travel 100 kilometers daily to work, spending less time than it sometimes takes us to get around a big city. However, the Chinese experience can hardly be called perfect. There are many corruption scandals associated with high-speed railroads. Some scandals have been so severe that Liu Zhijin, the Minister of Railways often referred to as the father of high-speed railways in China, was sentenced to death for bribes and kickbacks. Journalists from The Economist speculate that the minister received over 1 billion yuan, $150 million, in bribes related to various high-speed rail construction projects. The next Minister of Railways said that the quality of the railroads built could be a threat to traffic safety due to corruption, which created the need to lower the maximum speed on most of the network from 350 kilometers per hour to 300 kilometers per hour. Railroads are not only expensive to build, but they also don't recoup their costs. Only a few lines connecting major cities, such as the Beijing-Shanghai route, are profitable. The majority of high-speed routes are financially disastrous. For instance, the line between Guangzhou and Guiyang is supposed to pay $450 million annually in interest on loans, while ticket sales bring in only a third of that amount. The total debt of the China Railway Corporation has reached 4.14 trillion yuan, $640 billion. Some economists recommend continuing to subsidize cheap tickets to increase train occupancy and, consequently, profits. Others warn that high-speed railways could become a heavy financial burden that doesn't bring the right economic benefits. Meanwhile, according to the management of China Railway Group, the company's total revenue increased by nearly 11% in the past year, reaching 772 billion yuan. Towards the end of the year, in late December, 3 high-speed railway lines were simultaneously put into operation. Harbin-New-Danjing, 293 kilometers, Hangzhou-Wangshan, 287 kilometers, and Qingdao-Jinan, 308 kilometers. China has ambitious plans for the future. It is projected that there will be 850 high-speed trains in the country next year, with the construction of nearly 7,000 kilometers of new railway lines. The high-speed rail network itself will expand by an additional 3,200 kilometers. Approximately one-third of high-speed railways in China are designed for train speeds of 350 kilometers per hour. Last year, the length of the railway network increased by 4,600 kilometers, with investments in infrastructure development amounted 802.8 billion yuan, $117 billion. The Chinese government intends to make significant long-term investments in railway infrastructure. Next year, they plan to put an additional 3,200 kilometers of new high-speed lines into operation, primarily in western and central regions. The total length of the network is expected to increase by 6,800 kilometers. China's railways are projected to transport 3.54 billion passengers and 3.37 billion metric tons of freight this year. Why did China succeed in this way? First of all, the secret of success lies in the hard work of the Chinese. Secondly, it is also due to the ability of the Chinese to attract the best experience to their country, to learn and to work on creating their own products. Currently, China is home to all the leading railway brands. Essentially, the Chinese have developed analogs of these brands that are equal in quality, but much more cost-effective. If you like German Siemens trains, you can visit Tangshan, where the local railcar factory manufactures trains that are nominally Chinese, but essentially the same as the German ones. If you prefer French Bombardier trains, your destination would be Qingdao and its railcar factory. Additionally, high-speed trains are manufactured in Changchun, with the leading company in the industry being the China South Locomotive and Rolling Stock Corporation, operating under an investment agreement with the Japanese company Kawasaki. At the same time, there is a lot of discussion about the safety of high-speed railroads in China. Laying such railways abroad takes a long time. They cannot be used immediately. After laying, they have to settle, reach a stable condition, and only then they can be used. And in China, a real big leap in the field of high-speed trains has been made during these 2 years. Everything is done in a hurry, the deadlines are shortened, and the work will be done mainly by migrant workers from villages. And here you need to have fairly high qualification. China has rapidly expanded its domestic railway networks, mastered high-speed rail technologies, and emerged as a global leader in these areas. The Celestial Empire is already an exporter of high-speed technologies and is drawing different schemes of Silk Roads on the map of Eurasia. What do you think about this Chinese mega project? Share your opinion in the comments. See you in the next video.